Alright, so PoE2 had some announcement. The patch is out. I'm gonna just up the volume of the desktop so that we can hear the video just fine in the recording. Anyways, so yeah, Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, content reveal. Let's see what this is about. Either way, I am not playing this. Not because I think it's bad. I don't know much about it yet. I saw briefly, like, that it's out. I saw briefly a bit about the Huntress. I don't think it's bad. I'm not too excited. But main reason I'm not playing it is, well, twofold. One, I already said I'm not playing it, so I can't go back on my word. I am a man of my word most of the time, like, I'd say 95% of the time. I'm not playing it on principle because I don't want to support this season specifically for bullying Last Epoch. And secondly, I do not trust myself to not enjoy this game enough to take away from my fun of Last Epoch. I know how good this game is. We all know how good this game is. This game is fucking good. And I do not trust myself to not be re-addicted to it with the new patch and the new content that they're dropping. I don't know what it is yet. I know a bit, but not a lot. And I do not trust myself that in 2 weeks I will be so done with this game that I can fully enjoy Last Epoch. I can't just, switch like that. I believe most people can't. And I don't want to go into Last Epoch thinking it's like, man, I can't wait to finish this to go play Path of Exile again. I don't want that. I don't think it's fair for Last Epoch either. So that is my reason. So if you hate me because you're a Path of Exile player, well, that's just how it is, okay? I think this game is fantastic. I don't want to ruin Last Epoch for myself because of it. Because I don't know if I have an addicting or addictive personality. But like, I get hooked and I quit things pretty easily. It's like I'm like a child. I am a child. Where it's like I want this until I don't want this anymore. I don't like pacing myself. I'm fucking hooked or I'm not hooked. There's no like really in between. If I'm the in between, I'm usually like about to quit something. Alright, the in between for me is when I'm about to quit. But yeah, anyways, let's see. I'm gonna skip introduction, gameplay trailer. Let's see. Let's talk about the Huntress. A bit loud, isn't it? Just a little bit. There we go.
Now, as you can see, in Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the first new class since early access to PoE 2, the Huntress. The Huntress is a spear-wielding Asmeri warrior. Born into a society with strict traditions, she was exiled from her homeland after using the power of a skill gem to defend her village. As a dexterous spear user, she
Wait, was skill gem banned? Like, I don't know the lore of PoE 2. I know the lore of the game itself, like what you're playing. I don't know like the backstory. Like, are you like not allowed to use skill gems? What?
specializes in both melee and ranged combat, dashing into and out of battle. Spears have extended range and a short dash.
I like the idea
other weapons, you can also throw them.
In and out execution.
In order to make a hybrid ranged and melee character work, better do a lot of thinking about ways to make it fun to both enter and exit melee range. The first skill you will get as a Huntress is Whirling Slash. As well as striking in a circle around you, this skill creates a whirlwind that blinds your enemies. Leaving the whirlwind will make it explode. The more Whirling Slash is used, the bigger the whirlwind, and the bigger the explosion.
What does blind do again? Does like makes them miss like 50% or something like that? Increases miss chance, but doesn't like make them completely miss, right?
Once you're out of there, you'll want to follow up with something ranged. Whip your spear around to shoot twisters towards your foes. These twisters bounce off walls and can hit enemies multiple times. You can also throw twisters inside a whirlwind to shoot out extra tornadoes that do way more damage. In her offhand, the Huntress will usually want to hold a buckler, which allows you to do a new skill, Parry. While holding down...
Cool, but man, give me double spears, man. Give me double spears.
Parry. Your character will counterattack any incoming attack from monsters near you, stunning them. In addition, the monsters will take extra attack damage from your follow-up strike. Some specific skills are designed to be used after a parry and have extra effects. Disengage is a skill that does a quick jump back, damaging enemies in front of you, and can be used to interrupt other actions, like dodge roll.
I honestly wish that instead of having the spear jumping back, I wish you could switch to like a bow for the jump back. Like, give it a skill that, like, when you jump back with the spear, it switches to your offhand if you have an offhand. That would be so much more fun to play with. Right? First of all, then you won't need the talent for, like, faster swapping weapons. It's like whatever, because like no one really takes it because there's no real reason to do it. Right? This would be the reason to do it though, because you're a melee and ranged. You jump in with the spear. When you jump out, it automatically switches to your bow or crossbow, right? Whatever you have in your offhand. Fuck, even a dagger, right? Give us a skill like that. Oh, that would be so good. And finally, you'll be able to play with, like, swapping weapons and shit.
If you use it against a parried enemy, though, it causes an explosion and gives you a frenzy charge. Just be careful. If you parry too much...
The reason I really don't care about the man. I'm fucking pausing again all the time. I don't care about the frenzy charge. Because they fucked up the whole, like, combo system so bad. The frenzy and endurance and whatever. Where it's like... It doesn't work outside of the campaign. As soon as you get into endgame, the combos don't matter. You either generate 3 to 7 instantly, or you might as well not generate any. Like, they need to figure out their endgame, because the way some of the systems work, like combos, don't match with the gameplay that they are making in the endgame. I hope they are addressing it, obviously, but, like, generating one frenzy at a time? Why? Like, that's, like... Why? Right? Where I can generate 3 to 7 instantly with a ranger or a monk.
You're gonna get stunned and possibly killed. You can combine this combo with Whirling Slash. Slash, parry, disengage, and you'll get an explosion on the disengage and the Whirling Slash.
One frenzy.
The Huntress also has a variety of elemental spear throw attacks.
Okay, there we go.
You could use Lightning Spear to bounce lightning between your foes.
This is what I want in Last Epoch, man. I want my Javelin Paladin, man. Please make it work. Like, I want to throw lightning like Zeus, but you can't make it smite, but like it just takes so much mana.
Or you could throw explosive spears into the ground. These spears take a while to detonate, but when they do, they'll incinerate anyone caught in the blast.
Yeah.
All spear throws on the Huntress can also be empowered by frenzy charges. For example, explosive spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground. And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire will suck it into the whirlwind, adding fire to the explosion. Okay. Using twisters inside a fire whirlwind will shoot out fire tornadoes as well.
Like, the combos are
you can do similar combos with ice and lightning too.
That's fine.
Now, a key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This skill is Rake, which dashes towards your target and unleashes a deadly slash, opening up wounds on your enemies. Follow, disengage, and watch them bleed out as they run.
Literally what this is gonna make people do, like, if this is strong enough, you'll just put this on enemies and run forward, which again encourages the game of run through everything. Not a fan of that gameplay. I still like the gameplay, don't get me wrong, I still like the game. But I just don't like that part of the game where it's like, okay, we'll just hit them once and just start running, they'll die from the bleed, right? Like, oh, throw an AoE and move forward, like essentially clicking 1 or 2 buttons to wipe the whole screen is just not interesting.
Towards you.
It's a... Sorry, not to call it not interesting. It is a goal to strive for. This should not be the default gameplay you're going for. Being able to one-shot everything is the end goal, not the requirement to do the mid-game onward.
On the health bar of monsters, you can see how much blood loss the enemy has
experienced. I will down this.
And the Huntress has skills to take advantage of this. For example, using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion. The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion.
Yeah, see, like, why would I run back in that situation? I would just put the bleed on them and continue running. If the bleed runs out, stop for a second, hit them again, continue running. I don't like that. This is what the game is encouraging.
Try out Rapid Assault. The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy for a big bleed. Now, Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an electrical spear that arcs towards enemies. But what can you do with all these spears? Detonate them, of course. Thunderous Leap will allow you to jump onto and explode any spears, either in the ground or in your enemies.
Like, again.
Now, as well as hunting animals, the Huntress also has the ability to work with them.
Same
any beast,
same
you have
issue.
the ability to tame it and use it as a companion.
You
can only have one companion at a time, but it will keep the mods that were on it. Try to find a rare beast with good mods to take full advantage of your ability to tame them.
Ah, that's cool,
Now, this is just the beginning of the Huntress. We've really tried to make the hybrid ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options. There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress. By endgame, you'll be slinging hundreds of insanely powerful spears.
Did you just turn invisible? Like stealth?
Just the beginning of the Huntress. We've really tried to make the hybrid ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options.
Yeah, I think you're invisible.
There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress. By endgame, you'll be slinging
Yeah, it looks like either like
hundreds of insanely powerful spears.
the haste or whatever buff was like really fucking like taking over the screen, or like I think you were stealthed while doing it.
Sending forth spirit animals and summoning the might of Solaris from the sky.
Okay.
But we still haven't talked about ascendancy classes yet. What can the Huntress ascend into? Well, the first ascension class you could choose is the Ritualist. The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal sacrifice and plague. The Corrupted Life Force skill causes all enemies around you to grow volatile blood boils on their skin. When those enemies are slain, the boils will burst, spreading corrupted blood to all enemies around them.
Okay, that's
The
the
Ritualist
bleeding one.
also
Got
excels
it.
in taking advantage of magical trinkets. The Unfurled Finger skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger around your neck.
Okay,
Taking Mystic Attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped.
that's big.
Now,
Yeah.
this is one of my favorites. As the Whisper's
big
Ask,
passive.
it grants you a new skill, Ritual Sacrifice. Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters to absorb the power in their blood, to give you one of their modifiers for a short time. Specialize further into Ritualistic Sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to perform that skill on yourself instead of a corpse. Cut your own hand, sacrificing some of your own blood to empower yourself.
I feel like
The Amazon
empowering
Ascension is for
yourself
those
might
looking to hunt more
actually
than
be
just
better.
beasts.
I don't know.
Trained as an elite guard to the most important as merry elders, the Amazon will use more traditional fighting techniques mastered to perfection. The Predatory Instinct skill will cause you to
That's
reveal
the
weaknesses and
Java's on, I
defenses of
guess.
rare and unique enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars. While using Elemental Infusion, any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power, causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The Critical Strike skill is as simple as it sounds. It takes your excess accuracy and gives it to you as critical strike chance. Additionally, you have skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life, and as Merry Brew, to be able to use either flask to restore both life and mana. So those are the two new ascendancies for the Huntress. And as Merry Brew,
After some require mana, yeah, that's not bad. Like it's not bad for the campaign. Maybe I feel like endgame. Like, does it matter too much? I don't remember using potions in endgame because you just blow everything up and like you're supposed to have infinite mana anyways. And if you're losing HP, like you're dying in one hit, so you shouldn't be losing HP anyways.
to be able to use either flask to restore both life and mana. So those are the two new ascendancies for the Huntress. But those are not the only ascendancies in Dawn of the Hunt. We've added a new ascension class for 3 of the other existing classes too. First up, for our warriors out there, we have the Smith of Katava. The warrior is a blacksmith in origin, taught by his father Renly. With this ascension, you can take your smithing skills to new heights by embracing
Give me a sword. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you can be a blacksmith. Give me a sword. Fuck this mace bullshit, man. So done with mace. It's such a boring fucking. I don't think any game has made mace interesting to play. For me, obviously, this is a very subjective opinion. Just cannot see a mace being an interesting game style. The only mace I've ever used was the mace in World of Warcraft, in the Burning Crusade, the one you craft that has a chance to like cause like a 4 or 5 second, maybe even 6 second stun. That is the only mace I ever willingly used. Every other mace, like I was forced to use, and I fucking hated it. There's never been a mace that I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to use this mace. Never.
power from the insatiable one himself, Kitava. Smiths of Katava are master blacksmiths and have the ability to forge their weapon, quite literally. Using the Against the Anvil notable skill, you can enhance your weapon with fiery destruction before any battle. After doing so, your attacks
Give
will
me a
release
sword.
explosions on hit for maximum devastation.
I see a sword in
You
the
can also use the
ascendancy.
power
Give
of
me a
Kitava
sword.
to summon an animated copy of your weapon to fight alongside you. A great blacksmith can do more than just forging their weapon though.
Okay,
Their armor can be enhanced too.
Cool.
Now you might think this ascendancy class tree looks a little abnormal, and you're right. There's a lot of notable skills all disconnected at the bottom there. By taking this point here, which is free to assign, your character is unable to equip body armors with mods of any kind. So your body armor must be normal. Sounds like a downside, right? Except now in true blacksmith fashion, you get to craft your own body armor by taking those disconnected notables with your points. If you want your body armor to grant life, take this notable. If you want resistances, take this one. There's so many choices. Think of it like you're crafting your own body armor, just in a more literal sense. Now, let's move on to those who prefer the reassuring feel of the crossbow in their hands,
that's
the
cool.
mercenary. Alongside the existing Ascension classes, the Gemling Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter, you can now play as the Tactician. The Tactician is a former Blackguard elite. Free from the duties of a Blackguard, he is able to use his training to decimate the monsters of Rayclast and earn a healthy income doing so. This training comes in the form of various skills, like Suppressing Fire, which causes all projectiles to pin enemies. When combined with the Right Where We Want Them notable, your pin not only stops your enemies from moving, but stops them from performing actions too, similar to Freeze. With a soldier's training, the Tactician also works well cooperatively. Using the Whoever Pays Best notable, you can place multiple banners at once. The Watch How We Do It skill gives a portion of your weapon's damage to your allies as well. But if that isn't enough, you can also command your army of off-screen archers to unleash hell.
Let's be real, everyone plays this game solo. I mean, it's cool if you play with friends, but like, let's be real, like, I would say 98% of players play it solo.
And carpet an entire area with arrows. Finally, witch players will be able to join their legions by
But-
becoming undead.
That might work on minions. Maybe you can get banners to minions. Can you make minions? I guess you can make enough minions. You can get a good chunk of spirit and then load them up with that. Maybe.
Dead themselves. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the Lich Ascension class. The Lich is a master of chaos and curses and could sacrifice her life to enhance her energy shield. The Crystalline Phylactery skill allows you to nominate a jewel in which to contain part of your soul, massively increasing its power. There's just one downside to splitting your soul this way though. If you have no energy shield, your mana cost will shoot up. The Necromantic Conduit skill causes you and allies in your presence to have unholy might, granting extra damage as chaos damage. Rupture the Soul makes enemies you curse explode with chaos damage when slain.
This is the minion.
Dominion over Flesh allows you to apply an additional curse. It's safe to say you'll be a true master of the occult by choosing the Lich class. So Dawn of the Hunt has the Huntress and 5 new...
I'm sorry, man. If you want to make a Lich... I mean... I'd rather have a Reaper, to be honest. I'd rather have something similar to how they do Demon Form, or basically Reaper in Last Epoch. I don't like the Reaper in Last Epoch. I feel like it's underwhelming, but I like the idea of turning into the Reaper. But you have to do it right. I feel like Last Epoch kind of missed the mark with the Reaper. The idea is really cool, but like the abilities that actually make the give you the Reaper feel are not good enough. You know, like they just don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I'm ripping stuff apart. Like that's just me.
New Ascension classes, but it doesn't end there. Let's take a look at some of the new skills we've added. Now you may remember we previously talked about the Raised Spectre skill. It's finally complete and it will be made available in the upcoming expansion. It can be found in the occult skills on the skill gem crafting panel.
Okay.
Raised Spectre is a skill that allows you to trap the soul of almost any monster in the game, which you can then summon in the skill panel. Spectres cost spirit and will revive automatically if they die, but the spirit cost varies based on the power of the monster. You could summon an army of weaker monsters, or a few of the more powerful monsters. You can combine them with your existing skeleton minions, or summon exclusively
I just don't care about this. I'm not a minion guy.
Customize your army of the undead. Given that there are hundreds upon hundreds of monster variants in Path of Exile 2, it's safe to say you'll be experimenting with this one for a while. We look forward to seeing which monsters serve you best. Now let's move on to our next skill. Since we've been talking about summoning undead so much,
I'm sure somebody will like theory craft like the perfect army of like 2 tankers, like, you know, something that does like support and like ranged attackers or some shit like that, even using skeletons. Like, I'm sure it's not gonna be that hard to fucking theory craft.
let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Rower skill. Summon your friendly rower to aid you in combat as a minion. You can also mount your rower in combat at any time, allowing you to move at full speed, even while shooting arrows.
Great for early game, probably
Beware,
not that
if you
great
take too much
late
damage while
game.
riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed. It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death.
Where
on
is the stagger bar, by the way?
You get overwhelmed.
I don't see a stagger bar.
It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death.
Oh, there it is.
You can be knocked off and get overwhelmed.
There it is.
It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death.
Button.
On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support gems. Support gems are used to modify your skill gems in meaningful and interesting ways. Currently, we feel that a lot of builds have insufficient options here. To alleviate this, we're adding over 100 new support gems. Hema crystals will enable a new kind of bleed build, turning the damage over time you would have done into explosive Vile crystals. Alignment is a support gem
Not
for
that
poetry.
there's no choice in the support gems, it's that there's only very select few good support gems, and the other ones are kind of like, well, I guess I might as well use this better than nothing kind of thing. I don't know if the choice actually makes a difference. Multi-shot, for example, is just probably one of the best support gems. Sucks that it only multiplies to 3. Like, instead of 1, you get 3, like +2. And not, like, more. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, the support gems were really underwhelming overall. Like, even, like, the best ones are just underwhelming. I don't think it's a matter of choice. I think it's a matter of balance. Like, the gems, the support gems, are telling you to play a game in a certain way, and the game itself is telling you to play in a different way, and they're just not aligning. In my like like whoever designed the support gems is not designing the end game of the game or some shit like that. Maybe the new 100 ones is closer to it, like advanced multi-shot or some shit, but like so far, not happy with pretty much any support gem.
Attacks, which can reward skilled players with good positional skills. Caltrops will allow you to litter the battlefield with hazards, slowing your foes as you fling spears through their ranks.
Who cares?
But there's plenty more for every playstyle, such as Enormity, Unsteady Tempo,
First attack in sequence with support skills inflict hobble on you equal to 4% of your life. Second attack in sequence with support skill, 30% chance to critically hit. It's with support skill deals. Like I said, underwhelming.
Profanity.
I was going to consume a corpse within 5 meters on use. If possible, support skills deal 30% more chaos damage. Consuming a corpse. That's fine, I guess, but sucks. Like, this is the problem. Like, give us loadouts then. Let's say I have a build with profanity, and that's great for, like, trash. But then I meet a boss. This does nothing on a boss. Unless the boss summons ads, obviously. But, like, I can't use this on the boss. Give me a loadout then, like, so I can swap my abilities. I don't want to run... I don't need my build to run a build for a boss and a build for this, where, like, I have to shift mid-fight. That makes no sense. I get it, like, you can make a build for an pinnacle boss, and then you have a build for farming. That's fine, that's different. But I'm saying, like, you have a map with a boss in it, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do with this skill, then? I'm like, so
Retaliate.
weird. Okay.
Syzygy. Yep, that's a real word.
Syzygy. Some support skills are considered crushing blows against ignited and fully armor broken enemies, heavily stunning enemies which are ignited and fully armor broke with support skills will apparently intimidate them. What? When would I use this? If the gameplay is one-shotting everything, when am I going to care about this?
And many more. Now, we've talked about a new class,
Like
new
I said, like
classes,
the
new skills,
support
and new
gems
support gems. But let's not forget
tell
about
you
the
to
core
play
of true action
one
RPG,
game, but the game
items.
is telling to play a different
To start
game.
with, let's talk about uniques. We're adding over 100 new unique items. This time, we've made sure to add uniques with a focus on mid and in-game tiers to make sure there are more exciting items to find for higher-level characters. Let's look at some examples.
Sure.
Embrace your inner devil with Chernobog's Pillar. It grants you a large amount of fire damage based on your block chance. The Coming Calamity allows you to become a...
Dude, what is this? Are you kidding me? People will literally, unless they nerf the fuck out of heralds, which they have to, this is like the armor to go to. Your presence have no and enemies in your presence, whatever the presence is, I'm sure you can increase the range. Have no elemental resistance, and you're doing fire, ice, and thunder damage through these guys. Again, totally fine with having this in the game as an end game goal, but like it just kind of, again, like the end game tells you to play one thing and the early game's telling you to play another. I just don't get
true
it.
master of the elements, granting you all 3 elemental herald skills without costing any spirit. At the same time, it penalizes enemy resistances. Wastegate is a belt useful for builds using a single resource like blood magic or archmage builds. With this belt, you can use
I'm sure people see it's like, oh my god, I want this. And it's like, I get it. Like, yeah, I would want this too. But like, I'm thinking about how it cheapens the game. Like, maybe at like 84, it should cheapen the game at that point. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm just like, I don't like super OP items unless they're coming from the like the pinnacle of the pinnacle. You know, it's like, yes, I beat the game. I deserve this item. If you can get this before you beat the game, it's like, what the fuck?
flasks or 2 mana flasks. It's up to you. Now, we could go through these all day, but we'll leave most of them for you to discover. Suffice to say, though, we want there to be way more cool things to find. Over time, our goal is to add a unique to every single base item type at a minimum, so that you can chance any base in the game. Now, given that we have the Huntress, we have a set of unique spears from early game all the way through the end game as well. One example is Scyther's Spear, which combines bleed and fire in a powerful way. It allows your ignites to be aggravated, dealing substantially more damage. We're also introducing a suite of unique bucklers with some interesting parry mechanics. Kalgyra's Arc, for example, allows you to parry projectiles from any distance. And we're also adding our first unique charms. Bayra's Anguish will not only protect you from ignite, but will also emit a devastating fire nova whenever you do get ignited. In sum, there's just a ton of new uniques to find. We can't wait to see the weird and broken builds that come out of it. Now, we also want to talk about crafting options. In each major update...
Just that sentence. What are we watching? Path of Exile 2 has an update coming out April 4th, and then I'll play some Warframe. But, like, yeah. I need to finish a lot of stuff in Warframe. Like, I didn't have time at all this week.
During early access, we'll be continuing to add and improve the options here. We have various new crafting tools that have been added as rewards to many of the different types of new content that we're adding. But for now, I just want to mention the changes to runes. Runes add commonly available mods, but since they only have one tier, flat damage mods tend to get outclassed by in-game. So we've changed runes to have multiple tiers, allowing you to get higher tier mods than before.
Exhausted.
Our plan is to significantly expand the number
bro.
of
How are you?
specialized mods for crafting using socket balls as we add new content over time.
One sec, let me
and the
just...
first new set of those comes from what we're talking about next.
What's this?
In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding Asmarian Wisps, which can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame. The Asmari spirit has made itself present in Rayclast, and it appears to be trying to warn, or maybe prepare us for the coming darkness. You will first encounter a manifestation of it in the Grellwood in Act 1, where you'll meet Delwyn, an Asmari hunter who is trying to find out what exactly is causing the spirit to behave this way. As you approach the wisp, it will flee, leading you past monsters.
Okay.
Any monsters it comes into...
Again, dude, another mechanic that's... Oh my god, this is another mechanic that just makes you kill a bunch of shit as fast as possible.
contact with are infused by it, making them more powerful. Each spirit is associated with a specific revered animal within Asmari culture. This one is a wisp of the Great Bear, and grants enemies extra life and stun. The wisp moves faster the closer you are, and as you move away, they slow down to wait for you. But if you get too far away for too long, they'll dissipate and return to the woods.
Wow.
As you continue to chase the wisp, it will find and possess a rare or unique monster, granting it a new powerful ability. Because this was a wisp of the Great Bear, this monster now also has increased life and stun. But on top of that, it will periodically summon a large spectral bear that slams with wild fury.
Wow.
If you're able to defeat this foe, you will be rewarded. For each monster that was infused and killed along the way, the rewards will be increased. Each wisp has its own mechanics. The Wisp of the Winter Owl is a primal wisp.
It looks exactly Diablo. I mean, a lot of ARPGs look very, very similar in their UI. Either the HP and the mana is here, or they're like around the middle, and the bars are in the middle. Like there's only like really two UI options for ARPGs with when you have like this many abilities. Like,
enemies feel extra
they're all
cold
kind of the
gain
same.
energy
Yeah.
shield, and release wind vortices on death. When infusing a monster, they will call down large tornadoes to protect their host. The Wisp of the Wild Cat is a vivid wisp that causes affected monsters to deal more critical strikes and become more evasive. When it infuses a monster, it will summon a barrage of feline spirits that will attempt to tear you limb from limb. If you're lucky, you may even find sacred wisps that can do some pretty crazy things to the monsters they influence.
Diablo's so good to
like
know.
the Wisp of the Cunning Fox, which turns normal monsters into magics.
You have ever or you have never? I'm assuming you have never played Diablo, so good to know. Yeah. A lot of the ARPGs look very similar, and like you get a very similar feeling from playing them.
Monsters into rares, and rare monsters into actual bosses. Asmarian Wisps can drop a new set of socketable items that allow you to craft a wide range of interesting new mods onto your item.
Gain one rage from melee. Corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you.
Each one may only be used on a specific item slot. As mentioned, the Asmarian Wisps can be encountered throughout the game, but there's also a new in-game map called the Asmari Ranges, a mountain village where the Asmari once lived, now overrun with corrupt monsters. This map always has multiple Asmarian Wisps in it, and familiar, yet not quite the same boss fight. Asmarian Wisps can also be further modified by the in-game Atlas tree as well, and by tablets.
Atlas tree changes. Played on
But
Diablo.
I'm not going to be the one talking about those things. In order to cover all the new content in game, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts,
Oh,
game director on
I
Path of
have
Exile 2.
ever only
There's a ton to talk about with the in-game today,
You're
so
right.
let's dig
Okay,
right
okay.
in. Path of Exile 2's early access began with a brand new in-game, and it was clear that it needed a lot of work. After absorbing your feedback, we're ready to make some epic changes. The first thing is, we just need a lot more content. In Dawn of the Hunt, we have made sure to focus on increasing the sheer number of interesting and different encounters you will randomly stumble into as you explore the endgame. And the second goal is to smoothen the progression through maps
Breach,
and reduce the
man.
amount of annoying busy work. To start with, let's talk about the new interesting stuff to find.
Okay, let me ask you, right? You played Warframe for like, I don't know, over 10 years, right? Since beta probably you played Warframe. If every map, like imagine this, okay? If every mission, every sortie, whatever, if they all just had a... Nah, you haven't... Well, you played since like at least 10 years, right? From my understanding. But anyways, doesn't matter. You play for a long time, you fucking completionist, you have a lot of shit. If every map in Warframe, every scenario you did, like every mission you did, right, was below 6 or 7? No, you played in 2016. That's already 9 years ago, so don't lie to me. I'm just kidding. Sure, okay, 6, 7 years, whatever. Anyways, point is, if every mission had literally just like a shit ton of monsters spawn, or like every mechanic of the map would have just a shit ton of monsters spawn, and you just have to blow them up, and that was literally the main gameplay. Sometimes you have a boss, but for the most part, your 95% of your gameplay is just blow everything up. Would that be an interesting game to you? And by the way, Warframe is not that far from it, but there's enough like slight variety and movement and gameplay that kind of takes you out of it. Right, a lot of it is actually just run away from monsters. Like just fucking like go to the next room. Yeah. But it's like imagine every objective of a Warframe map was like, let's say Kalimos, right? When you go to Kalimos, I just want to say that it looks like no matter what you do, you get attacked by a bunch of enemies. That is exactly, but that is the case. Yes, that is Path of Exile 2. No matter what you do, it's just a whole lot of enemies, and your only solution is to blow them up before they blow you up. Basically, as simple as that. There's not much else to Path of Exile 2, unfortunately. That's the peak of the imagination there. Maybe that's the peak of imagination of ARPGs. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't know. Like, I want something closer to V Rising, like, but an ARPG. Like that's pretty much all I want. I don't mind getting to a point where I blow everything up. I don't want that to be the standard of the game, like mandatory to do that in order to like play the game. Like as soon as like you hit level 40, 50 out of the fucking 100 levels, this is the goal of the game, just blow everything up. I'm just so like, this is so not interesting. It's not engaging me as a player. It doesn't engage my mind. It's literally just fucking being a zombie and just like holding right click. I don't know.
Well, the most obvious thing to add are new maps.
It's
As
super
well as the Asmeri
repetitive,
Ranges
yes,
that Jonathan
100%.
mentioned
I
earlier,
agree.
Dawn of the Hunt also contains 7 other new maps. All with their
Again,
own
some
custom
people
encounters.
mentioned this in the comments where it's like, well, maybe ARPGs are not for you. Well, maybe I want ARPGs to be for me, okay? I like V Rising, which again, yeah, maybe it's not an ARPG. I love Diablo 2, not anymore because it's dated, but like, as far as the games go, I think it's a great game. Guess what's common in Diablo 2? Not blowing the whole screen up. When you get to a point when you blow the whole screen up, that's when you start doing Bale runs and Mephisto runs, and before that was like just cow level shit, right? You weren't really playing the game anymore. You were just grinding for the sake of grinding. I want to get to the point where grinding for the sake of grinding is the end goal. Once I get to grinding for the sake of grinding, I can just stop playing the game. Because I don't want to grind for the sake of grind. I want to be engaged in the game. I don't want to play like a zombie.
Let's start with this one. The Feral Megaliths map starts off in the wild Ezomite forests. As you progress through the forest, you will find
maps,
additional prefixes or suffixes at the
this
essences
doesn't
to greater
matter.
essences. Noting
Like,
we have
I
also
don't
added 10 extra Atlas passive
care
points you can
about
encounter
pretty much
rogue exiles.
any of this.
Others like you who have been exiled and are openly hostile. Some are malicious, some are mad, while others are simply fiends for loot. They will
See,
challenge
this is
you in a fight
interesting.
to the death.
You get an
They use the
enemy
same
that
skills
is
available to
like
players and
supposed
even
to
the
be
same
challenging.
items.
Now, will it really be challenging? Hard to say because of how they designed the game. Will I just one-shot this guy? I don't know.
They aren't just dressed up
Will
as
I
items,
just get
they're
one-shot by this guy if I don't one-shot him? I don't know.
actually using them. It's going to feel like a true player versus player situation.
Hopefully.
Of course, if you are able to slay these exiles, those items will all drop on the ground. So if you encounter an exile using a powerful or valuable unique item, which you can see displayed under their life bar, you want to be damn sure you kill them. Because if they kill you and your party, they'll portal out, taking their items with them. Every fight will feel completely different depending on the items they come equipped with.
Okay, that's
These
cool.
exiles are
That's
much
a good
smarter than your
addition.
regular monster,
Strong
and
boxes.
behave just a little bit differently. The Ogham's Legacy Strongbox has a corpse splayed out in front of the rune-carved stone.
Okay.
Upon interacting with the stone, you activate Forbidden Ezomite magic, which revives the monster as a powerful rare. The Strongbox comes with a modifier, which determines how many times it will revive that rare. Each time you
The RPGs focus on the story and not on grinding for stronger weapons just to pass some boss. Basically, yes. I don't really care if it's focusing on the story. Story helps. But like having a goal in the RPG. I don't want the goal to be endless grinding. I don't want that to be my end goal. I want to have an actual end goal. Like, you know, beating this one thing, like this big bad, right? It's like something that is more like fucking, here you go do this. This is the point of the game, right? If you want to stay after you beat the point of the game, that's fine. You can do that. Here's all the shit, right? But it's like campaign basically is gonna end at like level 50. Campaign is not the goal of the game. I don't even know what campaign is there for in Path of Exile 1, especially in Path of Exile 2, and especially in Path of Exile 1. I have no idea what the purpose of the campaign is, like to teach you how to play. Why? Everything you're teaching me is useless in the end game, so that's useless. Right? So it's like, I don't know why the campaign is there if it doesn't even matter.
Defeat the monstrosity, the strongbox revives it again, adding an extra modifier to the monster. With each resurrection, it becomes more difficult, but also more rewarding. This strongbox is infused with thaumaturgy from ancient File technology. E-Shell's Torment has a powerful artifact inside, and is guarded by chaos itself.
Like, I mean, look at this. Look, right? It's like, guarded by 31 packs of monsters. Didn't look like 31 packs, it looked like just 31 monsters. Aberration of Chaos contain. Okay, so like, look.
Torment has a powerful
they spawn
artifact inside, and is
right around you. Look at that.
by chaos itself.
He took one hit. His shield is gone.
Defeating
Took a few more hits. He's already at half HP. And this is a pretty tanky character, right? Like, I'm assuming, based on like, well, he's a warrior, first of all, right? He's wearing a shield, right? So warrior is a more tanky overall. Like, they go for armor and armor evasion usually. Well, these guys go for armor and shield. And high HP, I'm assuming. We can't see the numbers, but sure. Right? Usually warrior is a more tanky kind of build, right? If he doesn't blow everything up, look, he's already like 2 seconds in, half of his HP is gone. Imagine going into Warframe, right? And it's like you run into like a group of monsters and you're instantly at like no HP. Right? It's like, what the fuck, right? Now again, obviously we have builds for like, you know, shield gating and all that stuff, sure. But like, just like, what kind of scenario is this? It's like, it literally just forces you to blow everything up or get blown up. There's no like, there's no shield gating here. Glasscan AoE builds are like required. Yeah, basically that's literally what the game becomes. Or just like super tanky cannons. Right? Like, it's not that glass cannon AoE is required. Cannon and AoE is required. You have to be a cannon AoE. You don't have to be glass cannon, but you have to be a cannon AoE for like 95% of the game. The variety just goes out the window. And by the way, if the game wasn't designed for it, well, it sure sucks at making it seem that way, right? And people are like, well, you don't have to play that way. Game is designed that way, first of all. And second of all, if a character can do it, and you know that a character, a certain, like, let's say, the ranger can do it, you would feel like an idiot playing anything that cannot do it. Therefore, everything has to be able to do it. And that's why everything is fucking boring. Like, because it's all the fucking same. It's like playing a ranger is like I'm AoEing in front of me or around me, right? Playing a what's it called, and like the AoE comes from like an arrow, right? Or playing a warrior where the AoE comes from me, from my heart, from within me, and it just blows everything up around me. It's like, wow, the difference. Yeah, either you play meta or you don't play at all. I mean, kinda. Because the game also is designed for the meta. Once they discover the meta, they either nerf the meta, or they boost everything towards the meta, or they nerf the content. Or they boost the content for the meta. So it's like with every season. But that's basically what happens with Path of Exile, yeah.
Grant you a unique item with a specific corrupted outcome. You'll have to find the other two for yourself to see what they do.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the introduction to the endgame. Upon starting the endgame, Doriani tasks you with cleansing corruption to help restore the land. However, in practice, the quest objective just sent you on a grind to clear 15 maps. We wanted to make the quest to unlock your Atlas passives much more interesting. Now, Doriani is tasking you with a more specific objective. On the Atlas, you will find areas of corruption caused by the beast. In the center of each one, you will find a corrupted nexus, the source of the affliction.
Objectives
in
are
the areas
good.
leading up to the nexus, you will notice that corruption spills out from slain enemies and amalgamates into powerful monsters. Corrupted maps existed on the Atlas before, but we've done significant work on improving these monsters. We've also done a full pass on the modifiers on these maps to make them more interesting and more rewarding. Once you reach the nexus, you'll have a new task: cleanse the source of corruption. When you defeat the last rare in those maps, they will spawn one of 3 terrifying bosses, amalgamations of corruption itself. After defeating that boss, Doriani will come and cleanse the corruption for good. As the remains of the boss are purged of corruption, it coalesces into raw crystallized power, which you can use to gain points for your Atlas passive skill tree, the upgrade system that allows you to add and enhance content in your maps. We didn't stop there though. When you complete a corrupted nexus, all of the remaining surrounding corrupted maps will become cleansed maps. Cleansed maps also have new monsters, a new boss, and their own set of modifiers and rewards, including finding fracturing orbs by slaying cleansed enemies. Set of modifiers and rewards.
Okay, look, you only played Diablo, right? You never played Path of Exile 2. Can you tell me how many enemies are on the screen and what they're doing and where your character is?
Including finding fracturing orbs by slaying cleansed enemies. These orbs can be...
Let me slow it down actually, because it is a 1.5, so it's unfair. It's a normal.
A new boss. And their own set of modifiers and rewards.
Can you see what is going on here?
Including finding fracturing orbs by slaying
Does it look like
enemies.
What is going on? Like, what are this coloring, dude? Like, look at this. It's like
rewards.
It's like beige, brownish on like, I don't know, what is that? Like turquoise green. A bunch of like corpses with like mass, so it's like they have like height and stuff. Like, is that a rock or ice? I don't like. It's so busy. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like your characters now. Look, the character's like behind the monster now. There's no like indicator. Like, obviously because like you're in the middle of the screen, but like you can't see yourself. Man, they need to clean this up. This is so fucking busy,
Finding
man.
fracturing orbs.
Like, my eyes hurt just trying to understand what's going on here.
Slaying cleansed enemies.
I don't know. Fuck.
These orbs can be used.
Obviously, again, the game is in early access. Like, they will be cleaning stuff up, whatever. But like, I have to make these comments because it is in early access. This is the only time they can like actually clean this shit.
On a rare item to cause one of its modifiers to become fractured. A fractured modifier is one that cannot be modified by any means. You are able to freely modify the item, ensuring the fractured modifier will never change.
Okay.
If you get the right item with the right mod, it can prove to be a very powerful crafting base indeed. You must now choose. Okay. Do you complete all the corrupted maps and then the Nexus? Or maybe you beeline to the Nexus, complete it, and do all the remaining maps cleansed. Both have rewards to entice you and challenges to assess.
Okay, that's fine.
Now,
give options.
Let's have a talk about towers. One thing we've had a lot of feedback on is the busy work around running towers and managing your tablets.
Yeah, they're just not
The first change we've made here is that we have reduced the number of towers drastically. So there are now 1/3 as many as before, but we've made them much more powerful.
Yeah.
To start with, tablets now inherently add twice as many mechanics. But that's not all. Running higher tier maps and towers now increases the number of mechanics applied by tablet.
Here's the problem with the towers is that why would I kill anything in the tower and not just like run to the exit to the second level and activate it? And that's basically what people are doing in towers. Like, they don't they had to kill stuff because they were like you couldn't see them unless like you went into the room, which like I believe was fixed. But now that you can see them, aside from like very specific monsters, you can just like run forward, find the exit, and usually not that hard to find. Like, they kind of like, well, back then, I don't know about the new ones. I didn't play the new maps. But it's like, it just seems like such a just make it so like getting to a tower, you can put this in. Like, just going into the tower is a waste of time. The point of the tower is you can empower the maps in its range, and it also like opens up the map more so you can see more. So for example, before you would get to this tower, you might be able to see only up to like this area. So when you take the tower, it would like open up more areas so you can see better where you want to go on the map. And then you can also empower say, see this red line? You can empower all of the maps, all of these like, you know, shiny areas and like non-shiny circles. You can empower them to give more bonuses, which again, the idea is good. Just make it so I don't have to go into the tower. Personally, again, I don't have a problem with the tower. I'm saying that's the complaint. People don't like running the towers because they are just kind of useless in the sense that the tower itself doesn't really give you anything, and the chance of it giving you anything is kind of weak. So
by tier 15, the bonuses double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many mechanics as before.
Great.
So we're running far fewer towers, dealing with fewer tablets, and affecting even more maps than before.
Mesa Prime, by the way.
But because there are fewer towers overlapping with each other,
Yeah.
you won't get as many opportunities to stack different tablets. In order to solve this,
Like for me,
we've
I
made
think
it
this
so
is a
that
good
each
change
tower can
overall.
consume up to
I just
3
feel like
tablets at
people
once.
just don't like the towers.
You
Personally,
always
I don't
get one
care. It
slot on
never
completing the
bothered me.
tower, but if you can complete a tower with more mods on the waystone, you can unlock a second or third slot. Overall, this allows for even more juicing from towers, while drastically reducing the amount of busy work you have to do. On top of that, towers are much more interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics, including bosses. Each tower map has a new boss. All mechanics.
Is
On
that
top of
less
that,
monsters
towers are
than
much
before?
more interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics.
Now you still have to fucking AoE fast just because of how this works. So this mechanic, right? Because you don't know, this mechanic Breach, right? He goes to this arm, to this hand, whatever,
Top
and
of
then
that,
it starts opening the breach, right? Like this purple shit, and monsters spawn from the edges of the breach. However, the more you kill, the faster you kill,
Towers are much
the
more-
faster it will start expanding up to a certain point. The problem
more
is,
interesting maps.
in order to maximize this, because there's also a currency that drops from this area that you need in order to fight the breach boss. In order to maximize this, what you want to do is you want to clear one side and then make your way all the way to the other side in order to get the most out of it, while also picking up the currency that drops from the breach. What a lot of people do is they know approximately where the breach is. They know approximately the what's it called? The distance it would go. So they open a portal on the side that they're not going to. They clear, let's say they open a portal to the right side. This goes pretty far. They open a portal, then they clear the left side, log out, log back in, go into the portal because it freezes the map, freezes the game, go into the portal and then clear the right side. Right? Very meta gamey, not a good mechanic, forces you to speed AoE because otherwise you're not getting as many of the shards. You need like 300 for the boss, which is like fucking atrocious. So it's like, it's just this mechanic as a whole is just, I just don't like this mechanic. It's just such a boring way to play. Wouldn't it be nice to just like walk up to it and capture it just like that? That's what I'm saying, like about the tower. Yeah, just fucking, you know, like reach it, you know, and now you can use it to fucking, you know, like there shouldn't be monsters in the tower, in my opinion, right? But again, personally, don't really care about the tower. It takes like 2 minutes of your time. It's not a big deal. I just feel like people just don't like that it's like a waste of the 2 minutes and you have to do it often. Now you don't have to do it as often, so maybe it's fine. It's good enough for people. I don't know.
Because they can now spawn with all mechanics, including bosses. Each tower map has a new boss. Let's take a look at a couple here. The boss fight of the Alpine Ridge map has 2 powerful witches contesting for territory.
Okay.
One witch has an affinity for ice, the other fire. Who will win? Hopefully neither.
Whoever you help.
The boss of the Sinking Spire map is a remnant of the Val that has been charged with lightning.
These are all like campaign bosses, by the way, slightly changed for endgame.
Uses
Which is
a full
fine, I'm totally
suite
fine
of
with
lightning
it.
abilities. But be careful. If any of them hit the surrounding constructs, they will power up. Another thing that we've seen a lot of feedback about is sustaining
Wouldn't
waste
like,
constructs. They will
as far as I remember, this boss moves, so like, well, I hope they Yeah, okay, so I see it. Yeah, so they do have constructs on the corners. Because I was like, well, what if I move him to a corner and just like beat the shit out of him in the corner? But I guess like if the corner is here, then I guess you can't choose it.
Power up. Another thing that we've seen a lot of feedback about is sustaining waystones.
Okay.
As we looked into it, we realized that the people who couldn't sustain waystones were dying a lot.
Oh, look. Wow, I'm getting wrecked. What do you call it? What do you call it when like you say something you were right, but everyone thought you were wrong? I made a video before that like a lot of people could not maintain waystones because either they die or whatever. But it's like in order to maintain waystones, you have to be first of all successful. Second of all, know what the fuck you're doing with the waystones, because like they just don't drop enough. Like you just don't get enough waystones to like counter bad plays. Foreshadowing? No, it's not foreshadowing. No, it's like I was right. A lot of people in my comments said I was wrong about the waystones, and like I'm an idiot if I can't maintain. Like I'm a noob that I can't maintain waystones. Which, by the way, I had no problem maintaining it, but I did notice a shortage of it. Where it's like at some points I would be like, okay, I'm running low. I'm gonna have to boost this waystone in order to and go to this specific map. Well, yeah, it is. I told you so. But like no, it's like but what's it called? Like whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways, so the whole point is that I was saying one thing, people were saying no, you're wrong. I was right because that's what they noticed. People were not having enough waystones because they were dying, right? And like the game forces you not, like really tells you like you cannot fail because you just not like you can't advance if you fail even once, right? That was the main issue. I was right. Many people were right, but like people who fucking, on their Tinder app, on their profile they write, "I'm a Path of Exile 2 player." That's the kind of players like you're dealing with here, like fucking cultists.
A lot more than we had expected. And that made us realize something. During the campaign, the expectation is that you can die multiple times in order to learn how to overcome challenges.
Yes, that's what people
You are able
said.
to learn how the monsters behave, adapt to their skills, and eventually overcome them. But as soon as you get to the endgame, you're effectively no longer allowed to die if you want to sustain waystones. By the time you are getting towards the end of endgame, we want you to have to be careful not to die. But it
I
certainly
really don't like that they call the maps when just enter maps endgame. Can you imagine if and by the way, funny enough, in my Warframe video, when you saw the video, right? Where I said that, because I think you commented, where I said that's like unlock everything, and people are like, you didn't unlock everything, you don't have Steel Path, and you didn't unlock this from the standing, and this, and it's like, yeah, guys, that is like the end game, like that is like like that's where you beat the game. That's like when you say unlock everything, I mean like you have access to all the content, right? And this is what they're saying here, where it's like they consider endgame the beginning of maps, and it's like, bro, endgame is not the beginning of maps. That's beginning of maps, which you have like 15 levels of maps, actually 16, right? Levels of maps, and you have 5 levels of pinnacle bosses. You just unlock access to progress to endgame. You are not at endgame just because you entered maps. You're not in endgame until you get to like level 12 maps, to be fair. Right? Same as like in Warframe. You're not at endgame until you actually like do like level 200 plus Steel Path. Realistically, even like entering Steel Path is not technically endgame. Right? It's like bare minimum requirement to start working towards endgame.
shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift as you run your first maps. The first change we're making is you can
I
now...
mean, like, look. First of all,
Certainly shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift.
This is the standard for every build, by the way, which again, it's fun for like 30 minutes. It's fun for 30 minutes. Right?
As you run your first
Boom,
maps.
everything dies. Literally every build. Every build needs to be able to do this. Every character, every build. There's no build variety because every build has to do this specific thing. Whole screen is blowing up. Okay, so that's the gameplay at the not even the end game. Like this is mandatory gameplay for like middle of the fucking pack. Okay. And then look at this. This is look. I don't know how people.
to die.
When
But it
he
certainly
blows
shouldn't be that we have
everything up.
such a sudden shift as you
Okay, look. One second. Look at this.
run your first match.
Okay, blows everything up. Okay. Look. One hit. It's like 20% of his HP. Look at this. One hit. Just the one hit. Just the one hit, bro. Half his HP. Gone. How do you play this game if you don't just blow everything up? Oh, don't get hit. This is not the Dark Souls game, guys, okay? This is not like fucking avoid every fucking hit, because you can't. Because like otherwise just play ranged. What's the point of characters if every single one of them would have to do this to survive? My point exactly, man. My point exactly.
The first change we're
Now,
making...
to be fair, Warframe is not that different, but because you actually have active game style to it, like the running around, the jumping, the bullet jumping, all that stuff, the parkour, it makes it not as tedious, right? Like the way I kill with Mesa AoE everything is very different to the way I kill with the Mirage or like with the Gauss, right? Because it's like the gameplay in between is what, you know, makes Warframe really fun. There's no gameplay in between. There's running, see a pack of mobs, blow everything up. Everyone runs the same way. There's no parkour. There's like rolling is kind of irrelevant unless you're fighting a pinnacle boss, realistically, right? Or your build is revolving around rolling. But it's like you don't have a Gauss here. You know, you don't have a what do you call it? Like a Kullervo, you know, like you don't have teleports and shit like that. Like it's, well, I mean you do technically, but like, yeah, you're basically just fucking running around, just AOE the screen.
As you can now
no
respawn
aiming,
and return to a map if you die.
Okay.
Continuing from where you left off. When you start the endgame...
And the worst part is, it's still a really good game. I still love playing the game. But like as soon as I get to that point of the game, I just kind of like lose motivation. I mean, in Warframe you can basically do the same, but you have a choice between Warframe, weapon, even companions. Yeah, it's like there's a lot more mini gaming involved, which is like here it's like a prerequisite to like just blow everything up kind of thing. At least that's how I feel. Obviously, like I know that there are like new players to the genre and they don't blow everything up, and like tier 4 maps are hard for them, but like I don't know, man, I went from tier 1 to tier 13 pretty much in like one go, and it's just like it wasn't interesting and wasn't challenging. Campaign was fun because there was an actual growth, but like growth kind of stopped at like 45, and like, you know, you find an item here, an item there, but for the most part you're kind of done. Like there's not much more except from like just do more damage. Like, it's not like the gameplay doesn't evolve past like 40, 45. It's like, I don't know.
You get up to 6 total attempts per map.
Okay, so they're adding attempts. That's cool. All right.
Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
Okay, supporter packs.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters. They can contain any unique item found
Wait, hold up. What's
Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs. These keys contain items selected by our supporters. They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2. If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items. For example, Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht. We're also making a change that allows pinnacle boss units. A change we've made here is that all pinnacle content now no longer grants experience, but also brings experience on death either. Dawn of the Hunt also brings the first batch of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
Okay.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters. They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2.
Okay, so RNG pay to win kind of thing, okay.
If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items. For example, Hand of Wisdom and
Now the champion of Rayclass, less forgotten, banned the reliquary, born star void. Yeah, travel to the reliquary ball by using this from map device can only be used once. So I don't get, do you buy these reliquary keys or can you get them from like the pinnacle bosses too? You get to open the case as a supporter and anything can be there and it was put there by the support. No. That's not how it works now. No.
Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht. We're also making a change that allows Pinnacle boss uniques to drop at any difficulty.
I don't agree with this. I do not agree with this. I do not like this. So reliquary keys, right?
Of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
Yeah, so you only get them from the supporter packs. I'm assuming the other ones you just get from the pinnacle bosses.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters.
They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2.
I have no idea how it works, but like whatever. I don't know how like the supporters choose the items. Like I don't know. It's all. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Whatever. Sure.
To find. This applies to the drop charges for the reliquary keys from this content as well. We spoke about towers and tablets earlier, but we have also added a suite of unique tablets. Each of these adds crazy interactions to the map's influence.
So bloated, bro. Like, oh my god, this is so bloated.
By it. For example, this unique tablet allows you to run any map in a tower's radius without requiring connections, which can be quite useful for jumping gaps and traveling around your atlas.
That's nice.
And this tablet causes all runic monsters spawned during expedition encounters to be duplicated, and weakens all expedition monsters that emerge from the ground.
Yeah.
The Atlas tree has also been expanded, and you can find many of the new mechanics there, and improvements to existing ones too.
This is a game that isn't even released yet. This is early access and has so much fucking content. Like, bro, a lot of people don't even want to get into Path of Exile 1 because, like, they see how much content there is and it's, like, it's too much and they just quit. Like, they don't want to try and figure it out. The game is not even released yet and there's already so much. Holy fuck, man. It's so, like...
Now, through this live stream, we have mentioned
it's
quite
a
few
thing, but
new crafting options that we've added.
Spawn monsters even though no matter what you do, they spawn. I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. Spawn more monsters, kill more monsters. I don't know, I feel like the Path of Exile overall just warped what ARPG means, and the people just like bought into it. It's like, oh, ARPG just means blow everything up all the time, which is like, that's not at all what ARPGs used to be. Like, Path of Exile changed what ARPG is. And when I say that, I said it's like, well, that's not what ARPGs were. It's like, well, that's what they are now. It's like, okay, well, I want to change it. Well, you can't because that's how they are now. Well, they changed it in 2013 to be how it is today. I want to change it back to how it was. Simple as that. Like, it's not, I'm not overcomplicating things. I want the combat to be more meaningful. I don't want to fucking AFK my brain and just right-click to victory.
New runes, corrupted essences, fractured mods, and jewelry crafting bases. But we did have just one more crafting system to talk about. Recombination. Expedition was the only in-game mechanic that was lacking a crafting system.
I don't care too much about crafting. Honestly, like, just like, so not interesting. The crafting in PoE 2 is just not fun. And I just don't care. I think Last Epoch crafting is like peak crafting right now. Okay, let's see what Aaron was saying real quick about Path of Exile. I like Aaron because he likes Last Epoch more than Path of Exile 2.
So now that you've seen the
I'm
trailer,
biased.
I want to start by giving credit where credit is due.
Okay.
GGG is
This is gonna be
expert
quick.
at marketing and building hype off the way they present information. And I thought this trailer was pretty good. People were pretty hyped. Again, almost 600 people watching, and they're like, damn, can't wait to log in for 4-4. Kind of the underwhelming part came after. And don't worry, we will get to that. So let's just talk about what is actually coming. And I got I'm going to read through my little list right here. So 25 new skills, 100 new supports, 100 new uniques. You saw that in the trailer. Obviously, we are getting the Huntress class, which is the spear wielder. Pretty big update to crafting. It's still sloppy.
Main reason I'm not interested in this class because it's still on the same side of the tree as the ranger, and I want the other side. I find the other side a lot more interesting, the druid side. I don't even want to play druid, but I want that tree to be available.
Machine crafting, but they're making progress in there. So greater essence are going to be more common for corrupted essence, fracturing orbs for sealing, recombination via expedition, more socketables, more ring and amulet bases, and omens in every ritual. And
we've been over this. Okay,
early access patch, right? They are calling it a league, but that is pretty damn massive. Now, I think the problem that happened, and just follow me down this rabbit hole, just my opinion, is I think maybe in the content creation world, maybe in the forums, maybe it's Reddit, maybe we overhyped and bingo carded a little too much what we thought was coming.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that wanted to see Druid. A lot of people that wanted to see huge core mechanic upgrades to...
First of all, if Druid was coming, and people are so fucking stupid for this, in my opinion, that they thought the Druid was coming, they would advertise the Druid, not the Huntress, if the Druid was coming. Druid would bring way more hype than the Huntress that is located on the same side of the tree as the Ranger. That makes no sense. Like, oh, they're saving it for the big reveal on March 27th. No, the big reveal would have had the Huntress then. If they would still start off with the Druid. Druid is way more impressive. People are waiting for the Druid. Not me, but people are.
Map size and drops and crafting and pacing of the game. A lot of people wanted to see the campaign finished or new acts. So they're kind of bingo carding all these different things. And it's like, okay, where's the Druid? No. Map size, they literally said map size is staying the same. Deterministic crafting? No. Anything to ascending? No. Ascending was not mentioned one singular time. New acts? No. So you're kind of going through this, and it's like, okay, waiting. For
everything that is to do up to the end game, up the maps didn't change, okay? And the maps, which is probably the least interesting part of the game because it's just blow everything up. We don't know the patch notes yet, and if they nerfed the stuff that blow everything up all the time to shits based on the footage of the warrior blowing up the whole screen, doesn't look like they nerfed it.
That bomb to drop, waiting for, oh, and just one more thing, bam. And that bam never came. So what started trending, just follow me first, don't get pissed off yet, just follow me for a second. What started trending in streams, forums, Reddit, X, is the term underwhelming. So you started seeing underwhelming everywhere. And a lot of people were rating this like, 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like, it's not a bad update. It's not a knock your socks off, jaw-dropping, fall out of your chair update for an early access Path of Exile 2. It's fine. It's good. I'll log in. I will try it. That's what was kind of the sentiment, right, for this. And you could disagree. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And I kind of felt the same way. Like, what sold me on this update, and the reason why I am going to log in and play, is I have access to Spectres now. And as I'm preparing for Last Epoch Season 2, I've got all this content.
He likes minions, so this update is actually good for him.
We've got the community events. So for me, I was always like, man, how am I going to cram all this stuff in hours-wise? If I want to experiencing everything new for PoE 2, I can just log into my existing character, which is great. And I'm not saying I'm going to do that because I know that's kind of lame, but there's options.
You can't do that because you can't try the new ascendancies, so it doesn't really matter. Because you can't swap ascendancies, so...
For somebody like me that is terribly busy. So I was like, cool, I can log into my other character, I can check out Spectres, I can check out all the new content. And I think that's where I'm at on this. I think people had very, very, very high expectations from GGG. And did they deliver on some of this? Yeah, this is a big update. But I don't know if it's what the community wanted. Because again, GGG is expert marketers, right? So when they say 25 new skills and 100 new supports and 100 new uniques, well, when you introduce a new class needs new supports and new uniques and new skills. Yeah. And I know I've played a lot of Path of Exile 2. I know that supports and skills can be used by multiple classes, okay, because someone's already typing that in the comment section. But obviously those skills and supports are designed for the Huntress, but can be used by others. So all these big numbers are in because we are getting the Huntress. So this also led to the next phase of the night. And that was kind of, the content creators and the people that cover PoE 2 basically took to social media and said, hey, 10 out of 10, killed it, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
how can people be trending?
I hate that, like, oh my god, I hate content creators that are just like they just one game, one genre is their fucking life. And it's like, bro, how are you getting hyped over like every little thing, man. Like, I get you guys are paid by the company. You're not paid for every fucking video. It's like, I just don't feel like, you know, like DM, like Rex, what's it called? Fuck, I'm forgetting another one. Gazzy. I just don't feel like they're authentic. Because there's like, and Talkative Try, whatever his name is, right? Like, they just don't come off as authentic. It's like Talkative Try is always like happy with PoE, and it's like, it's fine that it's okay to be positive, but it's like, you can't always be happy, you know? Rax seems down to earth, but it's like he's still too. I almost never hear negative things from Rax, you know? Or it's like, I do, but they're always like with a positive spin or something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, just like, be upset about something ever, you know? Well, like, he was upset about towers, I'll give him that. But like, I don't know, man. Like, every time they talk about like something, and I don't know, man, it just feels like they're too positive. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm like expecting people to be less positive. But I mean, it's hard to not be very positive when your career is about playing video games, right? It's like, bro, like, fucking dream job. Play video games, get paid. Like, fuck, man. Like, what am I gonna complain about, really?
Ending underwhelming. Like, what is everybody thinking? What were you smoking? Did you not see what I see? And then that's just like, you know, pouring gas on the fire.
Like,
so
I
then, you know,
wanna
that's just,
focus on
then
the
everybody has to
positives.
counteract, and it's just
It's
drama,
like,
blah,
yeah,
blah, blah,
that's
blah, blah. But
fine,
ultimately,
man, but like,
if you ask
fuck,
me,
be a bit
we watched the whole
realistic,
thing
too.
twice. I had great discussions with the people on YouTube and Twitch, and I said, hey, not bad. Not knock your socks off. I'm rating it like a 7 out of 10. I'm going to log in. I'm going to play. I'm going to check out Binespector and see what we can do. And
I
think it's a
think
fine
for an early access patch, I think it's a 10 out of 10, technically. Okay? Like, yeah, content, if this was a full release, yeah, content-wise, yeah, this is fine. Okay, fine, 7. But for, like, knowing that this is early access, first time making a second game while also being a small company, while also running a Path of Exile 1 and trying to make leaks for that, like, knowing the background story behind this game and knowing that it's early access, I think it's a 10 out of 10. Okay? But, you know, if this was an actual game that was already released, yeah, okay, 7 out of 10.
fine update. I just think we had way too high of expectations. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, fine, fair enough. High expectations, underwhelming. I get it. Alright, cool. That's the video. It is what it is.